Hi Flosstube, I'm Sally, StitchySally here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Today is the 18th of January 2023, would have been my mum's birthday today, and this is Flosstube number 42. A very warm welcome to my channel, which is mostly about cross stitch. If I do have any life stuff, which I don't very often because I lead a very boring life, I'll leave it to the end and then you can skip over it if you want to. A very warm welcome if you are a new subscriber or a returning one viewer. I have had quite a few new subscribers recently, which is really, really lovely. It's lovely to have you here. I would just like to say a massive thank you to Dawn Frosty X Stitch for the lovely shout out she gave me on her last video. And also to Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows, who also gave me a lovely shout out, and Natalie, Home Sweet Home Handmade, who also gave me a lovely shout out in her last video. I am getting quite well on the way to 1,000 subscribers, and I would really, really like to make it for my second Flosstube anniversary, which is, I can't actually remember, I don't know if it was the end of April, beginning of May when I started. So that would be really, really nice. I do have a couple of shout outs of my own, which I will do later. But yeah, thank you to those ladies for the lovely shout outs. It's very, very much appreciated. So if you know of anybody who might like my channel and might like to subscribe, you know, just give them a nudge and send them my way. Thank you. So today I do have quite a bit to show you. I'm going to start off with some of the pieces that were behind me on the video that I did just before Christmas. I did it in my living room next to my Christmas tree, and I had some pieces up behind me. And Elaine, Ellie Welly Stitcher, she asked if I would show them. I didn't show them last time because I was in a bit of a hurry to get my Flosstube done. But I am going to show some of them this time. I haven't taken them all down because you have seen some of them before. Bear with me actually. Sorry about that, I just remembered one that I'd left behind that I wanted to show. So I'm going to start with those. I'm going to start with the Just Nans that I had up. So this one is Lady Scarlett's Journey? No, it isn't. It's Lady... Oh, gosh, there's some dust blowing about off that. Lady Scarlett's Christmas, I think it is. No, it's not. I can't remember. No, it is Lady Scarlett's Journey. Lady Scarlett's Christmas is a small square one. So yeah, that is Lady Scarlett's Journey. I will get it right in a minute. And I used to absolutely love doing Just Nans. I mean, this was sort of in the 2000s. Most of these were done in the 2000s. I have got more than this on another wall. But yeah, I just absolutely loved doing these. And to be honest, I do kind of think I'd like to start again, maybe. Just not this year. And then this one is Gingham Christmas, which is another one that I absolutely love. I didn't date this, I don't know when I did this, but again, it would be in the 2000s. Early 2000s. And then we have... I don't know what this one's called, actually. I have no idea what this one's called. I would have to look it up. But again, another one that I absolutely love. Oops! Oh dear, I nearly knocked that one on the floor. And then the final Just Nan that I have on that wall is... Sorry, excuse me. Barnabee's Quest. Absolutely love that one too. There's just something so special about these Just Nan band samplers. Really, really like them. I like doing the speciality stitches on those. Right, so another one, and you won't have seen this one last time, sorry, this one on that particular floss tube, because it was behind a Christmas piece. It was behind my Silver Creek samplers, my Christmas list, but obviously that's gone away now. So I'm just going to have to try and... yeah, okay. Just bear with me a minute. Sorry, I thought I was prepared. Everything's falling off. So I just wanted to see if I could cover. So this is Silver Creek Samplers Garden Bliss. Now there is a story to this. When my dad passed away in 2013, we had the I can't remember the name of the poem that we had read at his funeral. My dad was a keen gardener. He had an allotment, he had flower beds at home, he had 2 greenhouses, he grew fruit and veg on his allotment and flowers. So this was a perfect verse for him, and he did actually buy me a number of years ago a bird bath with part of the verse on, and my sister said he actually wrote it in her autograph book when she was little. So I wanted to stitch this verse, and there were quite a few versions of it, and I just didn't like any of them. So I thought, I wonder if any designer would consider charting part of it, or it's called God's Garden. That's it, God's Garden. Is the poem. So I contacted Diane of Silver Creek Samplers, and I said, explained to her, and I said, would you consider maybe charting it, or charting a version of it? And she said she'd never heard of it before, but you know, she would have a think about it, and that was it. And then a year later, I was looking down Facebook, and she had some new releases, and this was one of them. So she'd actually charted. It's not exactly the exact verse, but yeah. So I had to order it and stitch it, of course. So I'm just covering up the personalisation there. So I just popped at the bottom, in loving memory of the year he was born, the year he died, and then always in our hearts. And that is stitched, I think it was... I don't know, I think it was a Sparklies, but I can't be certain without having a look. But yeah, that's one that's on my wall. But obviously, as I say, you didn't see that last time because it was covered up with a Christmas piece. Sorry, I think this might be a bit of a long one today. I do apologise. And then one of the others that you could see was... Oh, sorry, glare. Bygone Stitches, Quaker Christmas. I don't actually know what year I stitched this. I don't think I've dated it. But I stitched that 1/1 on 25 count, and I used 3 colours of Carrie's Creations. Love Carrie's Creations, but I don't think they make them anymore. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed stitching that. Absolutely love it. So that is quite a few years ago. It would be when Jane's Attic was on the go, the online, well actually I say online store, she did actually open a shop as well. And then this one, which you'll have to excuse it because it's very large, is Lavender, oh dear, Lavender and Lace. I think it's Peace Angel or Angel of Peace, can't remember which way around it is. And again, this would be one of my 2002 stitches. Yeah, I had a phase where I just stitched loads of lavender and lace, well, a few lavender and lace as well. So this is one that I showed my dad it before I started it, and he said, I want to see that stitched and finished before I die. And obviously I did. So yeah, that's the other piece that was behind me. Like I say, I haven't taken everything down because the Blackbird ones that were up there, you have seen those. I just hope I can get that back up on the wall. Right, so Book of Days. Because I didn't show this, I don't think, last time, and I'm just going to hold it back here because there is some secret stitching on there. So that's my Book of Days up to now. And I've got, in the back, I've got the word for the year. And then in the front, I've got my name. So that's that. And then I have I have 3 FFOs. One I should have shown last time before Christmas went away, and I didn't. So that's all packed up, but I do have a picture of it. So this one was my final finish of 2022, and it's a freebie from Hands Across the Sea Samplers, and it's Oh Holy Night. So I stitched this on 40 count vintage country mocha using Sulky 1147. So I've just gone for a simple finish. I'm still considering whether to put trim on it, but I do quite like the simplicity of it. And I've just backed it in some gingham. I've got 2022 charm on there. And then the 2 that I forgot to show you, you just bear with me while I find them. Nope. Open the wrong thing. Right, where are they? There we go. So these are my Bells of Christmas with Thy Needle and Thread. And I'm really, really pleased with how those turned out, because anything with a shape, any shape other than sort of round, square, but yeah, they do actually look like bells. So I'm really, really pleased with those. Really pleased with those. Right, I'm going to move on to whips now. And you're probably going to laugh at me as well by the time I get to the last one. So I was intent on getting all of these out so that there was no zips making a noise and no trying not to crinkle and all stuff like that, but unfortunately I didn't. So this one is Modern Folk Embroidery Moonshine Cabin, which was my birthday start in December last year. And Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows, and Barb, Batty Bat 210 are stitching along with me. So if you'd like to join in, there's still time because I'm way off finishing. But yeah, if you'd like to join in, the hashtag is StitchySally's Moonshine Cabin Birthday Sal. And the details will be down below anyway. So I'm stitching this on 32 count charcoal grey Murano. And there we are. Whoops. So I've nearly got the house finished. I've just got the windows to fill in. This side tree's done. Started on that top tree, and I've also done a little bit of what I assume is snow down at the bottom. I'm assuming it's a snowy, wintry cabin. Not that I fancy being in the middle of nowhere during winter in a cabin. Nice and quiet though, wouldn't it? And then my next whip is from Blackbird Designs The Bells of Christmas Day, and it's this one, sorry, The Bells on Christmas Day, and it's this one here, which is Friendship's Gathering. And, oops, sorry, it's moving my microphone. I'm stitching this with a mixture of DMC and Classic Colourworks. I have got, in the Classic Colourworks, I've got pine needles, eggshell, outdoor, and Tennessee red clay. So I've got those in my Floss Buddy from Bags Plus. And this at the moment is my Tuesday night BBD SAL with Barb and Mouse, and also my Saturday night SAL with Lainey. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Picture This plus Wren. So I reckon I might be able to get that finished maybe this Saturday. Really pleased with that, really like it. So I'm planning on doing the other 3 smalls from that book. Not going to do the big sampler. I'm going to try not to do quite so many biggies this year. I mean, obviously there will be some, because I have them in my stash and I don't, you know, I want to stitch them. And then my next whip is for Barbara Anna Wednesdays, which I'm doing with Sally, again, Flossy Sews and Grows. And this one is Barbara Anna Designs Dancer. And this is also part of the seasonal SAL that Lynn, the Lancashire Stitcher, is hosting. So mine are all going to be Barbara Anna's. I may well only do that for the year. I might not carry on doing it, I'll see. Very much depends on how I feel once autumn's over with. So I'm stitching that in all the called for, and it is on, what was the fabric? It's Splash Granite, I think. Was it granite? Yes. I do believe it's the correct linen that I've got. I don't know. It might not actually be the Splash Granite, but it's a splash. So that's where I'm at. And he looks amazing, doesn't he? Even though I do say so myself, he looks amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Thoroughly enjoying this. And you know what? I'm actually being really, really good, because Barbara Anna, I think, has released, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 new designs since I bought Dear Dreams. Actually, I think there's been a couple of others as well, but I wasn't so keen on those. Haven't bought any of them. Bet that shocked you, hasn't it? I'm trying. Let's see if I can get some of my stash stitched. Then I might be able to have a treat later on. Trying really, really hard. So then my next SAL, and I'm just going to show you this. I know it doesn't match my project bag, but I'm not bothered. This is the project bag that Jo, Boo's mummy, made for me, along with a thread key, a thread. Oh God, get your words out, girl. Thread buddy. But this here, Abby bought me this for Christmas. A little Grogu with my birthstone and a little star. She did want to get my initial on it as well, but unfortunately they'd run out of S's. I thought I'll use that as a zipper pull. So this one is The Joy of Winter by Stitches Through the Years, which is a free design. There is a link down below, or there will be a link down below, to where you can get it. She's also got the a black sampler, and I can't remember, I think there's 1 or 2 others as well, freebies. So this is the Joy of Winter December SAL that Chris and I are doing. As I've said before, we always have a December SAL together. We've done it for several years. I can never remember how many. 15 at least. So this time we picked this one, and we do have quite a few ladies joining us, and all that, their Instagram, and if they've got Flosstubers, they'll be down below as well. So we started this on December the 1st. A few ladies have finished it. Chris has finished it as well, but I've not seen it yet. Chris, what are you doing? Can you show me, please? Sorry, Chris. So this is where I am at, and this is, what did I use? 36 count, 36 or 35 count. I should be used to this by now, shouldn't I? Light mocha. And I'm using all the call for DMCs, apart from there is a, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a metallic, or I think, but I've chosen just to use the DMC, the normal DMC cotton. So that's where I am at now. I know I've done this since I last saw you, but I'm not entirely sure what else I've done. I would like to try and get it finished by the end of January, but I don't think it's going to happen. There's still, it's quite a lot of colour changes and things in these little motifs on the border. Do excuse the dinging. And also excuse the whatever it is that's going on outside if you can hear that. But I'm really enjoying that. So we're going to be thinking about what we're going to do for the next one. And then probably change our minds, because that seems to be what we do sometimes. Right, so next whip is my Friday night sheep sal with my lovely friend Barb, and it's this one. It's Tralala, and I'm not even going to try because I know I'll butcher it, but it's the winter one. So as you can see, we have sheep and snowmen. I like sheep and snowmen. There isn't a robin on it, but never mind. So I'm stitching this on a 32 count vintage country mocha, which is my favourite fabric, if you didn't know, because I have said before it's my favourite fabric. And I'm using the DMCs. It's charted for Atelier threads, but I just decided to do the DMCs instead. So there we have it. So that's the lady holding the basket. So I'm really pleased with that. Really pleased with how it's looking. It does look a bit strange at the moment, actually, because obviously she's headless and legless. But I do think that is very pretty. So, and I still need to contact Corinne to see if she's going to do a summer. Yes, a summer one. And then my final regular whip is Cottage Garden Samplings Christmas Eve. And I'm getting on really well with this now. So I'm stitching this in all the called for, which is mostly DMC, and then there's a couple of gentle art sampler threads. And please excuse my hair. I've been out for a walk this morning, and when it's cold, my hair just goes. I've had a hat on. It's probably part of the problem as well. So I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha, And look at him. Isn't he amazing? I love him. Absolutely fantastic. So as you can see, I've got his beard done, his face, he's started his hat, stuttering. I've done his boot, and I have done a little bit, filled in a little bit of the white stitching here and here. So yeah, so as you can see, I've got some trees to do. I've got the bird to do up here, and I've got the lantern to do, and I've just got to finish this bit here, and obviously fill in. Let's fill in all this in here as well. So maybe not a finish before the end of January. And then my final whip, which I don't have a slot in my rotation for. I suddenly realised, Elaine, I do not have a slot in my rotation for the big ass pink house. So it will just get stitched on as and when until I finish something so I can fit it into my rotation. So you won't see a lot of progress on this from the last time. But progress is progress. So that's it. Plum Street Samplers Pink House Sampler. And what drew us both, myself and Elaine, to this is you can't actually see them, the sheep border down here. So this was mine and Elaine's New Year's Day New Start. And my friend Sue, who is Sue X Stitch on Instagram, she's stitching along as well. She had a New Year's Day start, but it's different to this. So I'm stitching this, probably mad, but I'm stitching this on 25 count vintage country mocha 1/1, and that's where I'm at up to now. So that is just this middle bit of the house here. It's a long way to go. See what I mean? Big ass house. So, and I do plan on changing this verse as well. I don't know what I'm going to change it to. I'll have to have a think. But yeah, I'm going to change that verse, I think. Yeah. So that is that. I haven't got any haul, and I'm going to talk to you about that just quickly now. So actually no, I won't. Just looking at my notes to see what else I've got to say. I've got 2 pages of notes this time, whereas last time I had nothing. One thing that I forgot to talk about last time was my 2022 stats. I don't record how many stitches I've done. To me, the type of stitching I do, because obviously it's not in I can't remember the name of the app that some people use for their stitching. For me, it would just take the joy away from my stitching to record how much I've stitched. So I don't do that. But in 2022, I had 53 finishes. 4 of those were carried over from 2021, and they got finished in 2021. So I think, what did I carry over into 2023? 3? I think I carried over 3 from 2022 into this year, I think. So I'm not really going to make any plans for this year. I know a lot of people have talked about things that they want to stitch, but what I really just want to do is stitch from my stash as much as I possibly can. I have been doing Stitch from Stash in a Facebook group for several years now. I'm not quite sure when it was started. It's run by a lady called Stephanie, and Dawn Frosty X Stitchy is one of the admins as well. And how that runs is you can have up to a $25 budget. So what you can do is convert that to your own currency. So I do £20 a month. So that's my budget if I want to spend it. And then you can have credits from finishes if you want to, which I do that. And then it runs from January through June, and then we start again in July. You can use whatever budget you have got left at the end of June. You can use it to buy things with and then not declare until you've spent that. I did not do that last year. I decided against it. I did it the year before, but I didn't do it last year. And I'm not intent on doing it this year either. I'm going to not necessarily be very strict with myself, because I think that's when, for me, I tend to just go, I want to buy a load of stuff. So to me, that's not how I want it to go. So I think I'm just going to try really, really hard, particularly with charts. I mean, obviously, if I need fabric or I need threads, then I'm just going to have to buy them. So as I said in my last floss tube, I am doing a Fabric of the Month club. I'm going to see how it goes, and maybe do that for this year. I'm just getting small pieces because I want to do more smalls this year. So that will be so much out of my monthly budget each month. But other than that, I just want to try and not buy charts. I want to be able to get my stash down and just stitch some of the lovely charts that I already have rather than adding to it. So that's just the main thing that I want to do this year. The only really plans that I do have are, obviously, Chris and I will do the December SAL, and for my big birthday in December I want to start something. I don't know what yet. I haven't laid eyes on anything in particular as yet, which is frustrating me a little bit. I know that I have, well, at least until November, because that's when I'd want to gather supplies if I don't already have, if it's not already in my stash. I have looked at long dogs. I admire anybody that does a long dog because they're rather large. But I have looked at the Pilgrim. I don't know why it speaks to me really, but then I keep looking at it and thinking, do I really want to do something that big? But yeah, as I say, I can hopefully find something, whether it be in my stash or something new later in the year. Because we are doing, there is a where is it? It's hashtag Big Birthday SAL 2023, because there's Sarah, Jenny and Rachel and myself that I can remember who have got big birthdays this year. So that's big birthdays that end in a 0. But I think mine's the very last one, to be honest. I've got to wait a long time to do mine. So yeah, those are really just the plans that I have. And as I said, the Stitch from Stash group, it is a really good group to go into if you're going to be relatively serious about it. Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anymore. And what else have I got? Yeah, I just want to do some shout outs. So Sally, who I've mentioned quite a few times, Flossy Sews and Grows, she was saying she's not too far off 500 subscribers, and she has got a challenge with a friend's husband who has a YouTube channel, and they're both not far off 500 subscribers, and the challenge is the first one to get to 500 subscribers buys the other one a bottle of Prosecco. So if you don't already know Sally, I'll link to her channel down below. Please do go and have a look. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and it'll give her the like on her videos, because it does give us a little more pull, I believe, or something, that the more likes you get, the more likely it is that you will get popped into somebody's recommended, I believe. I don't know, FlossTube, YouTube, Lauren to itself, so who knows. But yeah, so if you could just pop across and see Sally if you don't know of her already. She does a lovely variety of stitching. She loves Barbara Anna, and she's just a lovely person as well. Some gorgeous finishes. So yeah, if you don't watch her already, do pop across, click the subscribe button, and let's get her to 500 before her friend's husband, so that she can have a bottle of Prosecco. And then I also want to give a shout out to Natalie, Home Sweet Home Handmade. Natalie also stitches a lovely variety of things, and she is a lovely person, really, really nice, just comes across as being so lovely, just like Sally. She stitches some lovely presents for people, and she's just lovely, and she's around the same amount of subscribers as me, I think, and she'd like to get to 1,000 subscribers, the same as me, this year. It's just basically so we can say we've done it. We've got there at long last. Because you do see people coming into filming Flosstubes who get up to 1,000 subscribers in no amount of time, and that is absolutely amazing. But sometimes people get left behind and they don't get to 1,000 subscribers for a long time. Sarah King, our Stitching Kingdom, I think she'd been doing it for 3-4 years before she got there, and I think that's quite sad, really. And the same with Dawn. Dawn's not there yet, and Dawn's been Flosstubing for 4 years. So yeah, if you could pop across to Natalie as well and say hello. Obviously, either of them, if you've not watched them before, just say that I sent you. Click the subscribe button for both of them. I'm waffling now. I get like that, I don't know what to say and I just waffle. So I think on the stitching side and the Flosstube side, that is everything. As I say, nothing particular with life, because I lead a very boring life. Did go to our nearest big town yesterday. I need some new jeans. The ones that I've had for years. They've gone very, very baggy and horrible. But I didn't get any. So I'll just have to keep looking. So yeah, the kitchen saga. We've had another report back from, I can't remember the company's name, who's dealing with it all. Next door's big conifer has got to go. So I've been to see my neighbour and told her what's happening and that she'll be getting a letter. So yeah, that's going to have to go. We have a buddleia which also has to go because it's too close to the house. When you plant these things, you just don't think about it. But yeah, just so that it doesn't cause any future problems. So we're going to have to possibly get somebody to come out to that, because it has to be cut to the ground level and then treated to make sure that it doesn't regrow. And I've done a bit of research, and I think you drill holes and put something in which you can't buy over the counter. It has to be somebody that knows what they're doing. So we'll have to get that sorted. But the people who come to measure to see where it's moving, how far it's moved, the subsidence, we've got 10 visits from them altogether, so that's going to be 60 weeks. So nothing's going to get done for another year at least, until they make sure that it's all settled properly and the cause of the problem has been successfully sorted. So I'm still going to have to look at cracks in my kitchen walls for at least another year yet, I think. But anyway, so I've waffled on enough, and I need to go and get some dinner because it's 12:30. I'm hungry. I'm sure Jess and Abby are hungry as well. They've got this week off. So I will hopefully see you in a couple more weeks. Hopefully I might have got a little bit more finishing done. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care everybody, stay safe. Bye bye.